What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Warehouse Series and welcome to another interview. The last interview that I did, if you guys did not see that, I'll put it in the description below. Please click that link and watch. This is a very cool thing that I'm doing on this channel, and I really appreciate the people that take the time to be interviewed. I think it's just something to be interesting, talking to people that work at different warehouses, getting their perspective on things. And maybe it's something that you're interested in doing and you're not 100% sure if you want to do it. And you just don't want to hear one-sided opinion from me. So you get to hear other people talk about being in the warehouse. Today, Row Andy 62, this was supposed to happen last week and I goofed that up. My interview with the TikToker at TRELL144. I'll put that in the description below as well. I reached out to him. We're actually going to move that interview to next week. And I think it's going to be an interesting interview because we are two different people in the warehouse. I could tell already from looking at his TikToks, he moves fluently throughout the warehouse, about speed, probably making incentive. That's what I want to talk to him about. And then you got me that don't give a crap and I just want to build good pallets. So I just think it's going to be a good collaboration there between the two of us. So guys, join Discord, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I am trying to grow this channel, trying to do different things with the interviews, and I'm going to start probably doing lives again. Give me a thumbs up and let's get on to today's interview. All right, so let's get right into, I'm going to start off right out of the gate, your age, because the reason why I want to get to this is I'm 44, but I started in the warehouse when I was 19. And you said you've been at the warehouse for almost 2 years. And so you started around the age of 40. So the reason why I bring this up is because I get a lot of comments in my comment section of my videos and on my Discord. People message me, can older people do this? No, we're not older, but we're older compared to the teenagers that are starting in this job, or people in their early 20s or even late 20s. So let's start off by saying, where did you work before your first warehouse job?
Okay. Where I worked before, I worked as an auto mechanic, and then I worked at a family-run machine shop before.
Okay.
And
good.
I could see the writing on the wall at the machine shop that it was not going to last, no career opportunity. So started looking for another job, and warehouse job came up.
Okay. And when you went into so I put out a video last week talking about orientation being very vague at a lot of places. So when you went to orientation, did they let you know exactly what selection was?
Not really. They just briefly showed, walking me through the warehouse, showed what I would be doing very briefly.
Right. And so with that being said, now you've been there for almost 2 years. Is your turnover rate really high?
It was when I first started, and they have kind of changed the interview process a little bit, where they're showing them more in depth on what order selecting is.
Okay.
So people are having more of a understanding, and our turnover rate has gone down pretty low.
Well, that's good. That's
Lately.
good. Ours is actually the highest it's ever been since I've been employed at my work. So that's good. What do you know, like the highest seniority person there? Like, I know you said you're not a union, right?
Correct.
Okay, so but even still, like, what's the not even the highest, but like, what's the, how do I want to say? So your senior guy there, how long have they been working there? Do you know? Like, is it 20 years, 25 years?
I think somewhere between 15 to 20 years.
Okay.
Better selectors on forklift.
Okay.
And maybe that could lead into where we're helping out with receiving, that if we can come in the morning a little bit earlier, help with receiving out a little bit.
Right. And then you work 4 10-hour days, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And so is there only one shift at your warehouse?
Yes.
Okay.
For selecting.
Yeah.
One shift.
Okay. And what kind of forklifts do you guys have? Do you have the Raymonds or the Crowns, or?
We have both kinds of forklifts,
Okay.
Raymonds and Crowns.
Okay. All right. And you also mentioned before on Discord to myself, I can't remember if it was to myself personally or on Discord, that you have trained in the past.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And do you enjoy doing that?
I do.
Yeah.
It's
gives you a little bit of a rewarding type of feeling.
Yeah, because I kind of like passing down the knowledge that, like, you share, and then I try to tell them as much as I can, and then they just have to figure it out themselves too.
Right. Now,
So,
I quit training, but honestly, if I was at a warehouse like yours where the turnover rate was very low, I would probably train. But it is a very exhausting week for me to train somebody for a week because I put 130% into it, and following them around and making sure that they're doing what they need to do. The week is exhausting. And then
yeah,
3 days later they quit. So it's like
yeah,
it got to the point where I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like I'm putting all this effort into training somebody and then they're gone within a week, so what's the point, is what
yeah.
I'm saying. So
And what I really don't like about our training is that they're only there for 8 hours. When they're done, then we have to start selecting, and we've just been walking around all day, and then now we have to pick up the pace and basically run the
all right,
rest of the shift.
okay, so now that you say that, let's move on to what is your do you have probation week? So let's elaborate on what you just talked about. So you come in, you do your walk around. So like at our building, they give you, I think we're back up to 12 weeks again. We went down to 8 weeks and people weren't making it. So I think they moved it back up to 12 weeks. And you have to like periodically increase your time throughout those 12 weeks. So what's your like status as a new employee? You come in, you do probation, you walk around the building. How's the training process go? And do they have probation weeks? Like, let's elaborate on what you just said.
Okay. Our training progress or process, it's you first start out, orientation day, do online classes, whatever. Second day, you train on the Vocolect, get trained on the pallet jack, and you're just kind of walking around the warehouse, seeing how the orders are going to go in the headset.
Okay.
And then the rest of the first 2 weeks, you're with a full-time trainer
So you
for
got
the
two
8
weeks
hours.
with the trainer.
Yes, we
That's
do now.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, and
When
to
I first
me,
started,
yeah, good.
it was not like that. When I first started, it was not like that at all. It
Okay,
was go figure it out yourself, or,
right. Yeah, so ours
so
has been the same as for the last however many years. You get 5 days with a trainer. And on that fifth day, if the trainer feels like that person needs an extra day, they will train an extra day. But there's people on Discord, they say on day 2, they're on their own. And I just think that is just like, I'm dumbfounded when people say that because I feel like 5 isn't enough, and I mentioned
yeah,
on my video last week, or I've been putting out more videos, but I can't remember exactly what video it was on. But I mentioned that I truly believe there should be 3 weeks of no standard. I really believe
yeah,
that these warehouses give you time to actually learn how to build the pallet within 3 weeks and not have that standard within your mindset, that they will retain a lot more people. But I highly doubt they will do that. So but no, it's good to know that you get 2 weeks. That's good to know.
yep. And
All
then the standards that they want the new persons to hit, basically by week 15, they want you at 100%.
right. Okay, so you get a total of okay, that's good. I actually think that's pretty fair. I think that's pretty fair. So ours is 12 weeks, but we have so they look I recently mentioned on a video, we've always been at 100%. And our new extras cannot make it, so they lowered it to a 96 or a 98.
Okay.
Yeah, either a 96 or 98. But if they're like right there after week 12, they will give them additional weeks to make it. If they feel like this employee is gonna, be able to make his or her times and stay at the place, because, like I said, our turnover rate is astronomical.
Yeah.
So, when you were trained, uh,
Yeah.
was your trainer just a person that said put it there, or did they actually have a system?
Um, it was one of the guys from out of town. He did not tell me what to do.
So they have a
I
traveling.
think he kind of showed me, but he didn't talk to me at all on how to build a pallet. So it
Yeah,
was,
yeah, and honestly, that's what I get on my feedback a lot. I get personal messages almost daily on Discord, and that's what it is trainers are just basically a person that's walking by you while you throw cases. I mean, and that's where my channel comes into play, stuff like that. So, but
Yeah.
so your trainer did not teach you a system. Have you learned the system on your own?
Learned it on my own.
Okay, so you build the
Just
same way every time. Every time you do a certain part of the warehouse, you're actually sticking with it.
it's pretty darn close each time.
Yeah.
It's there may be minute differences here and there, but every product is pretty much right in the same spot.
Okay. And what's your plans here forward, like with warehousing? Are you planning on staying there for a while? Hopefully, get that forklift, do something different in the warehouse, or do you plan on moving to something else?
I'm planning on staying.
Okay.
I feel our warehouse treats us pretty good. So
Right.
it's
That's good.
I can see
How much
myself.
longer do you think you could keep selection up? Are you making your times? Are you an incentive person or?
Uh, I'm making my times. Uh, the incentive money, I'm making just enough to make like $40 a week in incentive money.
Okay.
So it's really not that worth it to go much faster.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and yeah, I am looking forward to getting out of selecting full time.
And what kind
But
of warehouse are you in? Are you in dry, perishable, freezer,
perishable and freezer
perishable?
mostly.
Okay. And you
But
prefer one over the other?
uh, I actually like our dairy area
Yeah.
a lot more. They took the eggs out and they switched that to our meat department.
Okay.
And so now with our dairy, we start off with all the juices that are all the same size. So it's real easy to get a good base going. And
Yeah.
then it's just throwing on top.
Yeah. Yeah. Me personally, we have produce and we have dry goods, and I always found the produce warehouse to be a lot easier. Throwing dairy and throwing produce is a heck of a lot easier than what they have us doing at dry goods. I
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of that. So let's get on to like so you like it there, you want to stay there. What's the vacation time like at your place? What's the benefits? We'll get onto that.
Uh, Vacation time, we earn paid time off through hours worked. It's like a
PTO
little
time.
over, yep. It's a little over 2.5 hours for every 40 hours that we work.
Okay.
So,
Now, can you,
and
so like, let's say 2 hours into your shift, can you leave and get paid for the rest of the days? Can you use PTO time like that?
I have to request, if something comes up, I have to tell or either our HR guy or our supervisors, hey, use PTO for the rest of the day.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And what's like your highest amount of days you can accumulate? Like what's your the max amount of weeks that you can accumulate paid time off?
200 hours.
Okay. So per like, do you have to use it at the end of the year? Like, do you have to use that per year?
Uh, I don't think so. I just think that you will not accumulate anymore
Right.
until you use some of it.
Okay.
And I know at the end of the year, at least they did it last year where we could cash in up to 40 hours of PTO
Okay.
with so
Okay.
and
And
we could even buy PTO.
okay. And what kind of you said you could buy PTO?
Yes.
Like how? So like you could just like
I,
say I want 3 hours of PTO time. Here's the next amount of money.
and yep, like they charge you like per the hour for it
Wow.
just so
I
that
don't think I've ever
you
heard
can
that.
have it. So,
Guys, if you're watching this video in the comment section below, let me know if you're able to purchase PTO time, because that is something I've never heard before. And honestly, I'd probably buy it at my place. And I get an astronomical amount of time off, but I can't stand my work. I can't stand being there. So the more time away from the place, the better off I am, I feel like. So now, is there a time? So do you have like no pays, like call offs, we call them? So like let's say there's a day that you're just not feeling well, or do you have to take PTO time, or can you take a day where you
um,
get paid?
yeah, we can call in. They can use our PTO for that.
Oh, okay. Okay. So as long, but let's
So
say you're out of PTO time and you're sick. Are you allowed to take a day?
yeah, you can call in and, you know, just not get paid for it,
Okay.
basically.
Right.
So
And what's your health care plan like? Are you an 80/20, a 90/10 plan?
I believe 80/20.
Okay. It seems like a lot of warehouses are 80/20 now. Yeah. I talk about the tier system in our warehouse all the time. It was like 100% and 90/10, and I believe our new employees are at an 80/20. So it seems like that's a popular thing. 80/20 with the deductible, and then you're maxed out on how much you put towards your healthcare. So if you had a major bill come up, like they max you out like 15 grand a year. So so you're not paying like 30, $40,000 on a medical bill. All right. So the next thing I want to say is I'm curious on your supervisors. Are they involved? Do they discipline? Hey, you're not doing this properly. Because I noticed that my work. The reason why I bring this up is I noticed that our work in the last like 10 years, like our supervisors caring about what happens in the warehouse fell off. It just fell off a cliff, and I think that's what happened with our place. Is like supervisors don't care. Well, guess what? We're not going to care either, and that's why. And then we're a union shop. And one of the biggest perks about being in a union shop, since you're not in one, I want to tell you, and for anyone that has not worked in a union shop, the biggest perk is being as one, is being together and being on the same playing field and being on the same team and sticking together and making sure that we're not being stepped over. It's a seniority number with union shops. Like I put my time in. I got almost 20, 25 and a half years in now, and my seniority at my shop is respected to anybody under me cannot do a job that I want to do. And that is one of the benefits of being in a union shop. But over the years, it's just like it just fell off a cliff at our place. It's just like it's not, it doesn't have the morals that it used to have. So with you being in a non-union shop, do you still have that same type of atmosphere where senior guys are respected, supervision is doing their job of making sure people are they're writing you up if you're doing something improper?
uh supervisors, to me, I think what I've noticed, it takes like a long time for them to write us up for something.
Yeah.
They keep threatening that they'll write us up. They keep threatening it, but then they never do.
And my thing on that is, what even though you have a low turnover rate right now, uh it's the fear of losing people, is my opinion. And
That's
that's
what I
why,
think too.
yeah, and I think that's why they stopped it at our work, because you have a low turnover rate, but we have an astronomical turnover rate. And I think it's the fear of losing people, because I also mentioned that we have overtime still at our building, but they are scared to death to force the extra employees, because they're afraid of they're going to quit, and we can't keep people the way it is. And if I force this person to stay longer than they want to, then more than likely they're going to quit. So yeah, so I think we're still on the same page with that. What about in the warehouse, like your coworkers? Do people respect each other? They respect that person with a seniority number, like that's higher seniority, that's been there longer.
There is like good respect for the people that have started right around the same time and that
Okay.
have been there longer. And I think some of the newer people, I think it's kind of, they do kind of look up to us a little bit, but not, you know, they don't quite believe everything that we say.
Right. So what's the so you've been there almost 2 years. What's the selector, the highest? Even though you guys really don't have seniority, I mean, because you're not a non-union shop, but what's the person selecting? How long have they been there? Have they been there 3, 4 years? So or can somebody, this is what I'm trying to get at. So can somebody at 1 year get a forklift over you that's been there for almost 2 years?
Yeah, I think as long as they had forklift training
Okay.
or were forklift certified in the past,
Right.
they will want to get that person on the forklift
First.
earlier
Right.
than training somebody brand new.
And that's where one of the perks of being in a union comes into play, is because it's goes by time served. Everything in our building goes by time served. Now, so one of the biggest downfalls I've ever heard about union shops is from consumers saying that our prices are high in our grocery stores is because you have a union shop. I don't, I'm not saying that's wrong, because we don't. It's not that we get paid, because I'm top rate, and I get like, and I also get the shift differential because I'm on an afternoon shift, and I get around. I don't even. We just got a raise recently. I think it's at 27.10 an hour. Now, although I don't get paid a lot per hour, per se, to compare to other warehouses where they're getting 30 some an hour, my health care is 100%. So that's where I
Okay.
think we make up for it. And I get a lot of time paid off, is where I think we make up for the difference of the hourly wage. But the only problem is that my warehouse is that they tiered everything off. So the newest people coming in don't get anywhere close to what the senior people get. And so now we're in a dilemma of, where is this place going to be in 5 years? And that's what scares me. And that's what scares me, is like, I think I'm going to start moving backwards, because we can't retain people, and they don't want to stay because there's no reason to stay, because there's no retirement plan. And I think that it's just going to lead backwards from there. So that's the next thing I want to talk on. I just talk about retirement plan. Do you have a 401k and IRA that your company contributes into and that you could also contribute into?
They've slightly talked about it. I necessarily didn't really look into it that much when we had just had our open enrollment
Okay.
for everything, but I have one from previous jobs that my neighbor set up into like a annuity
Okay.
for me. So
that's
so
good
that way,
though. I mean, because an annuity is more protective than like a 401k.
yeah,
Yeah, 401ks fluctuate with the market, where an annuity is just it increases like 7% over a year. I think I believe that's how it goes. But it's good that you have an annuity though, and
yeah.
that's something I talked about on my last video. That I truly believe that people need to set up stuff. I mean, no one prepares for their future anymore. I mean, and I get it. I mean, look at it now. It's so hard to just like function. Groceries and stuff like that. Everything's so
Yeah.
expensive right now. It's a very hard time right now. So the last thing on your mind is 30 years from now. It's like, I gotta, what am I worried about 30 years from now if I can worry about now? I need to worry about now. So I get that. And I don't know. That's a whole nother video. I don't want to get into that, because I get very fired up when I talk about the way cost and living and stuff like that. All right, so I'm actually gonna go back now, back to your, because just the fact that I brought this video up last week during your orientation and stuff like that. Did you have to do a lifting and a reading test? Because
No, we did not.
You did not. Okay, see, so this
No.
is something that really irritates me. And I think it's something all warehouses should be doing. That. So the fact that you're not doing it as well, because I'm always curious, like these big CEOs of these warehouses and these companies, are they talking with other warehouses to see how they are operating and stuff, so they can get on the same page with each other to see what the best way of doing things are? I don't know why, because I was told by our company that each trainee is around $4,000 through the whole process of people paying people salary, trainers, and whatever it is. You have to. I don't even know if they implemented the drug test anymore. We used to have to do a drug test as well. I don't even know if we do that anymore.
Ours is only if we get hurt or
Okay.
involved in an accident.
Yep, that's when we got to do a drug test as well. So when I first got hired on, we had to do a lifting test, a reading test, and a drug test. And I think none of that is irrelevant anymore. I don't think they care anymore, because they just can't get people in the warehouse. And this is where I feel like automations can be pushing forward in the near future. And I also want to hit on that. Have you seen any of the automation videos out there that either I posted or on YouTube of those fully picking automated warehouses?
I think I saw one little TikTok video on like a automated pallet.
Okay.
that
I'm
brought.
actually I'm gonna tag in the video the Meyer one, which came out almost 10 years ago, and then there's a new one out with the UK, and it's crazy. So they could fully I've asked people in Discord because I said I've never seen a perishable fully picking warehouse. I've always seen dry goods because
Yeah.
perishable, like we talk about with the open boxes that have the tabs and stuff like that. It's like, how are they going to stack stuff like that? So I would love to see a fully automated picking perishable warehouse, but the dry goods warehouses, they've been out for 10 plus years. And the way I look at it is the more time goes on, the easier that becomes because automation just becomes more evolved. And my green screen is falling down back here, but it becomes more evolved, and the more companies that provide that, it's supply and demand. So if there's a lot of companies supplying automation, then it's become cheaper for companies to do it because of competing prices. And I've noticed that on eBay. Just to throw a little scenario out there, I buy North Face stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to get great money for this North Face item, and I go and look on eBay, and they're selling for 20-25 bucks when they retail for 200. Well, it's supply and demand. It's the eBay is flooded with North Face stuff, so everyone has to drive their prices down. Well, that's the same thing with automation. The more companies that come out with automation and can supply that type of equipment to do fully automated warehouses, the price is going to drive down. And when those prices drive down, more warehouses are going to pursue automation, I believe, because it is just so hard to get people to do that type of labor work anymore. Your opinion on that?
I think you hit it right on the head.
Yeah, I truly believe, and I like I said, I talk to people at my warehouse all the time. I'm like, take the blinders off that you've been here for 20 years or whatever it is, and my green screen. I told everyone I need a new green screen. This thing, so I did that at one of those paint monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're seeing my hallway back here. I don't even care anymore, but yeah, I just truly believe that automation is going to be a thing of the future, the near future, and and it sucks because it's going to take jobs away from people that want to do it, and
Yeah.
it stinks because I've read online before that when they fully automated warehouse, it cuts 80% of the staff. So, and there's a lot of things. Yeah, and so there's a lot of things that company does not have to worry about anymore. Yeah, it might cost them 25 million to get started, but they eliminated healthcare, they eliminated benefits and stuff like that. Okay, so now getting towards the end of this interview, I want to ask you. I asked Cole Wolf the same thing. What is your favorite thing about working in a warehouse and your worst thing? Either selection, warehousing, whatever.
Start off with the worst thing is just how physical demanding it is.
Yeah.
And basically, favorite thing is just kind of knowing that I'm providing a service for people here in town, like for the grocery stores.
Right. Yeah.
So
So with you saying that, I have a feeling that you take pride in your building your pallets.
yes, I do.
See, I'm the same. And I get people that they're trying to make as much money as possible. And but I don't know what it is. I think it's like and this is I think it's a generation thing.
Yep.
But I talked to Cole Wolf last time, and Cole Wolf's in his early 20s, and he seems like he takes pride in his work as well. But I think it's a pride thing. I think it's a generation thing too. But yeah, I do. Every pallet I build, I try to build it as perfect as possible, as long as I'm making my 100%. Is how I look at it.
Yep. I'm the same way.
Okay, so now I asked Cole Wolf the same thing, and I'm going to continue on with these interviews with ending with what do you think I could do better with my YouTube channel? Because I'm always trying to improve it. I'm always trying to throw new material out. I want to I like doing this YouTube channel. I like the community that we have over on Discord. We get new people daily, and I like where it's going. I like the feedback I get from my channel. So is there anything else new I could add to my channel?
I think when you do Discord Fridays, just if you see a really good palette where the person may have used some type of system,
Yeah.
just point it out,
Okay.
So
Yeah.
That's kind of my only
and
thought on it.
I think I have with Colt Wolf and Samuel, because and Jeremy, I like, because it gets to the point now where when I'm with my eBay store and everything, I am like super busy. So when I'm gathering pictures off of Discord for a video, I just click them. You know, I look at pictures and I'm
Yeah.
like the last Discord Friday, I was talking about using open boxes as a base, and I just click pictures. And then when I'm actually filming the video and I'm looking at the palettes, I know whose palettes they are. I'm like starting to learn
Yeah.
how someone builds, and it's their system. I know that just by looking at them. Samuel builds the same way every single time. So I know when I'm looking at a Samuel palette. Cold Wolf, I know when I'm looking at a Cold Wolf palette. Jeremy works in the freezer, so I know when I see those freezer items and I'm starting to look at certain things. And I know Jeremy don't like that I so I agree with like some of his stuff, but that's the way those guys are trained over there. He's in a bulk warehouse too. So I can't really and that's another thing too. Are you in a bulk warehouse, or just do you have like multiple stores?
Multiple stores.
Okay, so that's where I'm at. So if I were to go, so Jeremy's at a BJ's wholesale club, you know, and then you got Costco and stuff like that, Sam's Club. If I was in one of those, maybe I would stack different. I wouldn't know until I did it, you know, but
Yeah.
so what I do is I just look at a palette, and within seconds, I'm like, what would I do different? You know, because I've been doing this for so long, it's ridiculous. I mean, but thankfully with my union shop, I don't have to throw unless I want to. And that's on overtime. I got enough seniority in my place where I can, you know, do what I'm doing now. Like right now, I drive a forklift every day, is what I'm doing at the present time. I drive a forklift every day, and the only time that I will be selecting is on overtime. And I probably will not put out any more selection videos of me selecting in the warehouse, because I just don't feel the need for it. Like I did enough of it, and I don't want this channel to just be about me. I want it to be about my viewers, and that's why I love Discord. And God, I'm going to draw a blank on who recommended it from Australia to do Discord. Otherwise, I want to be doing it. And then your pictures, everybody posts over there, is just like, this channel is about you guys, and you know, and that's what I wanted to be about. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate me screwing up last time and you coming back on
No
this
problem.
week with me. And I appreciate the feedback. I will start pointing out people's systems. I like that. That's a good one, you know, to start recognizing other people's systems, and maybe newer selectors could, you know, observe that as they're watching the Discord Fridays and seeing some of the similar palettes together. So no, that's cool too. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate your time, and maybe we could do this again in the future.
All right. Anytime.
All right, cool, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. I will see you guys next time. And thank you, Andy, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. Like I said, it was a good interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, please, you know, if you guys want to be interviewed, reach out to me in Discord. Private message me, and we could try to get that set up in the future. You know, I try to hit on some of the same questions from Cold Wolf, and I'm probably going to be repetitive on those some questions. But just from talking to you, the interview goes a little bit different than everybody else. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys liked the interview, and give me a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time. Bro Andy at Bro Andy 62. I appreciate it. Thank you again. I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.